Some DC heroes learned early that Batman is not to be messed with and death is merely a vacation, but they always seem to forget these vital lessons. DC Comics has presented readers with the greatest heroes in comics. These heroes have proven to be intelligent and adaptable, doing their best to keep up with the villains of the multiverse. Superheroes are known for teaching lessons. From the painful ones they teach villains to the uplifting ones they teach the general public and readers. However, the years have proven that the DC superhero community may not be the best at remembering some of the lessons they've been taught over the years. DC history is full of moments where the heroes should have known better. From particular instances where the heroes definitely should have done something different to cases where they do something stupid over and over again. There are some important lessons that the heroes have ignored. They've paid dearly many times for their inability to learn their lesson. 10. Time travel never works out how they think it will. Time travel is a pretty unique power. There are several villains, Time Commander, Kronos, the Time Trapper, and others, with the power to control the flow of time, as well as heroes who can move through the ages, like the Flashes, Rip Hunter, Booster Gold, and Wolverine. Time travel can be a fickle mistress, and stories like Flashpoint and Batman, The Gift show that when a hero decides to try and change history, it's always going to lead to something terrible. Barry Allen, traveling back in time to save his mother, created the Flashpoint reality. Booster Gold decided to save Batman's parents for a short period as a wedding gift, trapping Batman in a terrible reality. Crisis on Infinite Earths saw the heroes send the villains back in time to help Krona, and they failed. Time travel seems like a good way to solve problems, but in the end, it always backfires on everyone. At this point, heroes should know better than to try to go back in time and change things, because instead of making things better, they always make them a lot worse. The fact that they've ignored this lesson so many times is flabbergasting. 9. The Guardians of the Universe are bad at their jobs. The Owens are among the oldest races in the universe. Before humanity even existed, the Owens were there, perfecting themselves and their technology. Eventually, the Owens evolved into immortals who could tap into the green energy of will power at godlike levels. They decided to use their power and technology to protect the universe and became the Guardians of the Universe. That's right, when the trouble started. The Guardians' first attempt to create a universal peacekeeping force created the Manhunters, robots that ended up killing nearly every being in Sector 666. The Guardians imprisoned Parallax, the Fear entity, inside the Central Power Battery and didn't tell anyone. The Guardians created the Third Army, a failsafe to destroy the Green Lantern Corps if they went rogue. The Guardians of the Universe's motives are good. The more powerful should help protect those weaker than them. But they always find subtle ways to sabotage themselves and the Green Lantern Corps. They keep secrets that definitely shouldn't be kept. Secrets that have straight up endangered the people of the universe. Trusting the Guardians completely is a foolish proposition. And anytime the Guardians of their help, the heroes should keep a close watch on them. 8. Batman's never going to stop making plans to defeat everyone. Batman holds a high place in the superhero community, standing alongside Superman and Wonder Woman as the Trinity. Batman has saved the day numerous times, his intelligence and resources allowing him to make a huge difference even in battles where he seems to be completely outmatched. Batman is a great ally to have, as he'll do whatever it takes to keep innocent people alive. However, Batman is also a pragmatist. Batman created plans that would allow him to kill any member of the Justice League if they went evil, which Ra's al Ghul stole and tried to use to destroy the League. Batman created the Justice Buster armor, which was specially designed to fight the Justice League. Batman created Failsafe, a robot that could adapt to pretty much anything, which was meant to kill him but also could destroy any individual hero Batman knows the weakness of. Batman plans for the worst, and it makes sense that he would make plans to kill heroes in case they went evil. The main problem the first time it was discovered was that he never told anyone and it was used against them. After that first time, it seems like the heroes keep getting mad at him whenever they discover just how far he went in planning to kill them. Batman can't help but plan for everything, and everyone knows he makes these kinds of plans. Getting mad at him is futile and a waste of energy. 7. Every universal force has some kind of terrible secret. The DC multiverse is home to multiple sources of energy that are integral to its existence. The emotional spectrum, magic and the forces, the speed, strength, still, and sage are all examples of this. These energy forces have fueled multiple heroes and villains, allowing them to pull off the superhuman feats that they are known for. After years of using these powers, heroes and villains think they know everything about the energies that they've tapped into, such as the Speed Force. They are often mistaken. The Speed Force has been doing some strange things lately, revealing there's more to it than meets the eye. The Green Lantern's yellow impurity came from the fear entity Parallax being trapped in the central power battery, and was the first sign of the emotional spectrum of power, which led to the attack of the Black Lanterns. Magic is a powerful force, but at its center lies the other kind, powerful magical entities that are the source of all evil magic in the multiverse. These universal forces can be quite useful, but they always reveal some hidden cost or new, damaging facets. Many heroes and villains have found themselves in a lot of trouble when something like the Rot shows up, a hidden force that was the shadow of the green and the red. There's always a secret, one that makes everyone's lives that much harder. 6. The multiverse is never really dead. The DC multiverse can be a complicated place. The multiple Earths all have their own versions of heroes and their own dangers, ones that can challenge heroes who aren't familiar with them. The multiverse is vast, but there are some beings out there with the power to destroy it, which is what happened during Crisis on Infinite Earths. The multiverse was destroyed, with several Earths being combined into one to create a composite Earth. Despite the destruction of the multiverse, several beings still had memories of it, with Psychopirate able to manifest beings from the multiverse. Even with the multiverse gone, there were still the Elseworlds, alternate Earths, where heroes, villains, and events were quite different. The multiverse was remade in the aftermath of Infinite Crisis, with new Earths that were very much like some of the old ones. The end of the multiverse was only the beginning, as it's since returned. Every time it seems like the multiverse is gone, or there are no alternate Earths, something happens that proves that it's still around. There's always some way to bring it back to existence, or some enemy hiding its existence for their own goals. 5. Very few people stay dead. Superheroing is a difficult job. Anytime two people fight, there's a chance of injury or death, and many heroes and villains have learned this lesson the hard way. DC has been home to some emotional deaths, ones that have seen the heroic community mourn their fellows. Many big-name heroes have died and have been mourned, returning to life not long after. Even lower-level heroes come back to life. Superman's death was a huge deal, but he was back not long afterward. B and C-list heroes like Ice, Blue Beetle 2, Jason Todd, and many more have all returned to life. Villains like Darkseid, Doomsday, and the Anti-Monitor always return. For villains, it's even more definite that they'll come back to life. Even Z-list villains have been resurrected. Death in the DC multiverse is a revolving door. When the Justice League was thought dead in battle with Pariah and the Dark Army, no one should have batted an eye, as even if they were dead, they'd come back. Death is a vacation for the heroes and villains of the DC multiverse. 4. Don't leave the Anti-Monitor and his technology behind after beating him. The Anti-Monitor was the ultimate foe of DC's heroes as outlined in the epic Crisis on Infinite Earths. The Anti-Monitor was the ruler of the antimatter universe and began attacking the other universes of the multiverse, destroying them with waves of antimatter and absorbing the energy. The heroes of 5 Earths banded together to stop him, fighting a war that seemed all but lost until they were able to turn the tides. The Anti-Monitor was destroyed, or so they thought. The Anti-Monitor's armor was found by Alexander Luthor and Superboy Prime, who made it part of Luthor's tower, tapping into the residual energies to access multiversal energies. Sinestro was able to find the Anti-Monitor's armor after Luthor and Prime were defeated and resurrected him, making him into one of the Sinestro Corps' guardians. He was defeated by the Guardians of the Universe, but his armor became the basis for the Black Lantern's power battery. Pariah was a blow to copy the Anti-Monitor's technology and armor design to tap into greater power during Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Anti-Monitor is the most dangerous threat ever, with the highest kill count of anyone in the multiverse's history. Leaving behind any of his equipment, from his armor to his other technology, is just asking for some villain to go and find it, allowing them access to power that they didn't have before. Someone should have the job of making sure that the Anti-Monitor's equipment is destroyed or can't fall into the wrong hands. 3. Trophy rooms are just asking for trouble. Many of DC's heroes are somewhat sentimental, which has led to them keeping mementos of their victories. In a way, this makes sense, mostly because it's always nice to celebrate one's accomplishments. And heroes like Batman, Superman, Green Arrow, or others create trophy rooms. These rooms contain objects related to old capers, and sometimes even contain powerful weapons and artifacts, like the trophy rooms in the various Justice League headquarters. Superhero hideouts are notorious for being broken into. Many villains have been able to get into the Justice League headquarters and get powerful weapons to use against the heroes. These thefts just make more work for the heroes later. At one point, the Hall of Justice had the bodies of multiple villains in safekeeping, which seems reasonable since death is a revolving door. Then Blackest Night happened, and suddenly, the Hall of Justice was overrun by undead villains. Another example is Green Arrow, keeping objects that kept his biggest secrets, that he always knew about his son Connor and abandoned him, which forced Green Arrow and Arsenal to hunt down the mementos that were taken out of the old Arrow cave in Green Arrow, the Archer's Quest. Trophy rooms look cool, but they're rarely worth the trouble they can cause. 2. The Joker will never stop. Batman and the Joker's rivalry is the stuff of twisted legends. The two of them are locked in a death spiral, one that has seen both of them hurt the other grievously and claimed the lives of thousands of innocent people. The Joker is the face of true evil, a pitiless being who thinks the world is a sick joke and just wants everyone to get in on the punchline. Their war is seemingly never-ending, which is why Batman not pressing for the death penalty is foolish. The Joker constantly escapes from Arkham. The Joker even kills his own henchmen. Every time the Joker breaks free, more people die. Batman is against killing, but that doesn't mean that he should try to fight to keep the Joker alive or keep sending him back to Arkham. At some point, Batman has to realize that the Joker isn't going to stop. The Joker isn't going to get better. He's just going to keep killing, and allowing him to be put in Arkham just so he can escape again is asinine. 1. Lex Luthor is not to be trusted long-term. Lex Luthor is the greatest supervillain on Earth. Lex Luthor has committed heinous acts, yet has still been able to stay mostly free and in control of LexCorp, a corporate behemoth that makes him an obscene amount of money. Lex Luthor has changed a lot over the years, but one that hasn't changed is that Lex Luthor can't be trusted. Lex Luthor ends up betraying everyone at some point. Lex Luthor and Brainiac used to team up all the time, and Luthor was constantly trying to betray Brainiac and vice versa. Lex worked with Superman to beat Zod in Last Son of Krypton, but his plan would have pulled Superman into the Phantom Zone with the Kryptonian criminals. Lex Luthor is always willing to do anything to meet his goals. Lex Luthor will throw in with the heroes to protect the Earth, but that's not because he's a good person. It's because the Earth is where his stuff is. Lex has helped the heroes numerous times, but there's always a caveat or a secret, one that shows just what kind of person Lex is. Teaming up with Lex Luthor is sometimes necessary, but trusting him in any long-term way is a recipe for disaster. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.